Okay, good morning to you all, my fans. I'm back here once again with another show. Yeah, as you all are aware, yesterday what happened in England, Italy, Spain, as well as Germany and France will be bringing you the score lines. So starting from England, the first game of the day was between Man City and Tottenham. And the game ended 2-0 in favor of the away team, Tottenham Hotspur. Then the second games for yesterday was between Bournemouth and Wolves, Brentford and Aston Villa, Burnley and Sunderland. Then the third game was between Arsenal and Leeds United. Bournemouth and Wolves ended 1-0 in favor of Bournemouth. Wolves received a red card, so they ended the game 10-11. Then Brentford also won their game against Aston Villa at home. Then Burnley won 2-0 against Sunderland at home. Arsenal also at the Emirates Stadium defeated Leeds United by 5-0. And remember, Gyökeres scored his first Premiership goal for Arsenal yesterday. Then moving on to Spain, Mallorca started the day for the league, and then it was 1-1 apiece between Real Mallorca and Celta de Vigo. And this is the second game for Real Mallorca. Their first game was against Barcelona, and they lost that game by 3-0. And then yesterday, their second game, they couldn't win, they drew. So it's like now they have 1 point. And then Atletico de Madrid also lost their first game to Espanyol, and their second game at home, everybody thought Atletico Madrid was going to win, but they couldn't do what was expected from them. Elche held them to 1-1 draw, and Levante also lost at home to Barcelona 3-2 in favor of Barcelona. And yesterday, what a game. We'll come back to that. Then moving on to Italy, Genoa versus Leeds 0-0, and then Sassuolo played Napoli 2-0 in favor of Napoli. And then AC Milan also played Cremonese, and it was 2-1 in favor of Cremonese. And AS Roma at Rome won by 1-0 against Bologna. Moving on to Germany, Leverkusen played at home, losing to Hoffenheim 2-1. And Frankfurt also won their game 4-1 against Werder Bremen. And then FC Heidenheim lost 3-1 to Wolfsburg. And then Augsburg traveled to Freiburg and defeated them 3-1. Union Berlin won against Stuttgart 2-1. And then Borussia Dortmund at away drew 3-3 with St. Pauli. And in fact, Dortmund also received a red card. Moving on to France, Olympique Marseille won their game 5-2 against Paris FC. OGC Nice sit at home and then defeating Auxerre 3-1. And then Olympique Lyon also won their game 3-0 against Metz. So in Europe, this is what happened yesterday. But there was a surprise. Man City at Etihad lost to Tottenham Hotspur. What happened? Me, I wasn't surprised. Someone will ask why. Because when you look at the head-to-head stat between Man City and Tottenham Hotspur, they've played 20 games. They've played about that is 20 plus 12, that is 32 plus 4, 36. So they've played 36 games. 12 win for Tottenham Hotspur, and then 20 win for Man City, and then 4 in a draw. But when you take a look at the away performance of Tottenham Hotspur against Man City, they always do well against Man City. Their away performance is very better than Man City playing away to Tottenham. So yesterday, going into the game, if you can check back on my YouTube channel, the video that I made, I said that I wouldn't be surprised to see Tottenham Hotspur winning. Yeah, although Man City in their first game, they started well by winning 5-0. Yeah, so everybody thought that with this form, definitely they are going to make it hard for Tottenham Hotspur. But Tottenham also proved that they mean business. As you can see from the screen, looking at the ball possession, Man City played 61 and Tottenham played 39. But the most important thing in the game was done by Tottenham. Expected goals 1.55 for Man City and then 1.11 for Tottenham. Shot on goals 10 for Man City, 12 for Tottenham. And then big chances 2 for Man City and 3 for Tottenham. So the big chances, the 3 that went in favor of Man City, Tottenham Hotspur, they make good use of 2 of them. Man City got 2 big chances and couldn't do anything with it. So at the end of the day, it was Tottenham that won by 2-0. Everybody is asking, what is going on? There was Phil Foden at the bench. Bernardo Silva was sitting on the bench. Rodri was sitting on the bench. And even their goalie, their main goalkeeper, which is Ederson Moraes, was also on the bench. What is going on? Is it that Man City is missing Kevin De Bruyne? Are they missing De Bruyne? Are they missing him like Real Madrid missing Toni Kroos? Well, let's wait and see what Pep Guardiola will do for his team to bounce back on winning streak. Because if this is how they are going to continue with their game, then it will be difficult for them. Then it will be difficult for them to compete in the league. It will be difficult for them to compete in the league. But let's wait to see. This is just the beginning. Yeah, this is just the beginning. But you see, better to win some games so that when you get to the curve, the little points that you will add will push you to the trophy. But if you are losing your games at the early stage, then on the curve it will become difficult for you to push up. But remember, this is Man City and Pep Guardiola for you. We've seen it before. 2-3 years ago, in fact, they were 10 points behind the league leaders. What happened? By the time we realized, Man City was the one winning the EPL. So I'm not surprised to see Guardiola starting on a bad note. But like I said, let's wait to see. It is not a news for Joseph Pep Guardiola and his Man City team. Now let's move on to the next game that also was a little bit surprise. We are moving from England to Spain, and then in Spain the game between Levante and Barcelona. Imagine, by the end of the first half, Barcelona were down 2-0. And in fact, Levante played so well. They took all their chances very well, and their defense, their midfield and attacking, everything was superb. But I don't know what happened in the second half. I don't know. Although when you look on the screen, yes, Barcelona played 82% and Levante 18%. This should tell you that Barcelona were pressing. They were pressing. But Levante were defending and catching Barcelona on the break. So they will allow Barcelona to play the game and then counter-attack. They scored. And as you can see, you see that the expecting goals expected from each side, Levante had 2.14. Imagine, against 1.93. So the question is, if goals expected is 2.14 for Levante and 1.93 for Barcelona, then how come It's Barcelona winning. And then even looking at the total shot, yes, Barcelona played 26 and then Levante 8. But the big chances, it is 6 for Levante and 3 for Barcelona. So it means that Levante created a lot of chances, big chances, whereby they were supposed to utilize all these chances. If they had, by now, it would have been a different story altogether. But you see, a champion is always a champion. A champion is always a champion. Yeah, Barcelona has proven it, that they are the champions of La Liga last season and they want to win. Kudos to Barcelona, and then we wish to see more from them. Yeah, we will see as time goes by how Barcelona is going to showcase themselves in this season league, and let's see, can they retain the title? Can Barcelona retain the title, or Real Madrid will do what they are supposed to do to take the title away from Barcelona? Yeah, Real Madrid can do what they are supposed to do to take the title away from Barcelona. Yeah, so this is what happened in Spain. This is what happened in Spain. And then, like I said, I've said it already, in Italy too, there was a surprise. That is AC Milan versus Cremonese. AC Milan versus Cremonese. Honestly, if you hear AC Milan and Cremonese, it's like this is a David and Goliath game, whereby everybody is expecting the Goliath to win. But over here, David took down Goliath. That is Cremonese taking down AC Milan. And this is the first game for Luka Modric for AC Milan, and he losing his debut game for AC Milan by 2-1 against AC Milan. Take a look at the heat map. The game that played between Milan and Cremonese, 64% ball possession for AC Milan and 36% ball possession for Cremonese. Expected goal was 1.88 for AC Milan and then 0.21 for Cremonese. Total shot 24 for AC Milan and 4 for Cremonese. Big chances 2 for AC Milan and 1 for Cremonese. But at the end of the game, it was Cremonese that carried the day 2-1. So now take a look at this stats and analysis on the screen. How is it possible for you to dominate all the stats but still losing? That is it. So that is AC Milan for you. That is AC Milan for you. Yeah, so we are moving on to today's games that will be played in England, Spain, Italy, Germany, and France. So the games coming on for today at 1 o'clock local time. Crystal Palace will host Nottingham Forest. Everton will host Brighton. Then Man United will travel to Fulham to play them at 3:30. So it's another game, and then let's see, can Man United bounce back into winning stage? Can Man United bounce back into winning stage? They are playing Fulham. Remember, it won't be an easy game for United because they are playing away from home, and they are playing Fulham. Fulham is another stubborn team. It's a bogey side for Man United. Gone were the days, yes, Man United used to dominate Fulham, but now things has changed. So let's see what Man United can do in today's game. Now moving on to Spain, Osasuna will open the day by hosting Valencia at 3 o'clock local time. So Osasuna will play Valencia. Real Sociedad will also play Espanyol. Then Villarreal will play Girona at 5:30 local time. Villarreal will play Girona at 5:30 local time. Then at 7:30 local time, Real Madrid will play Real Oviedo. And remember, it's Madrid playing away, so Madrid is the away team. Real Oviedo will stay at home and will be hosting Real Madrid. This is a game that I'm not expecting less than 2 goals from Real Madrid. honestly speaking. Their game against Osasuna last week, I wasn't impressed. They dominated the game all right, but they won the game by 1-0 by a penalty. So it's like if they are not gotten that penalty, it means that they couldn't have scored. Real Madrid were lacking in the final third. Yes, they were really lacking in the final third. So Xavi Alonso has to up himself and then see how he can speak to the team, bring up a better formation that can unlock any defense. That can unlock any defense. I'm not expecting Real Oviedo to be chasing Real Madrid today. In fact, they lost their first game and they won't be happy to lose this game today. So definitely they are going to play a low block and try to catch Real Madrid on a break. So let's see how Xavi Alonso will set up his team that can break the defense of Real Oviedo. So as you are seeing on the screen, this might be the possible starting lineup. It's not yet confirmed. But looking at what you are seeing on the screen, the back four obviously is intact, and even in the goalpost, there is no way that Lunin can overtake Thibaut Courtois unless he is injured. Yeah, unless there is an injury for Courtois, that is when Andre Lunin can take the goalpost. But as you are seeing the back four, Trent, Militao, Hussein, and then Carreras, these are the back four. Of course, in the midfield, Chomeni is the pillar. He is the central DM. Then, of course, Federico Valverde will also play. Then Ada Güler. But for Manchester, I don't understand. Why is it that Xavi Alonso is preferring Manchester ahead of Rodrigo? Honestly speaking, the treatment being given to Rodrigo, I'm not happy, and it's a total disrespect to the boy. Yeah, what Rodrigo has done for Real Madrid for the past 7 years, we are yet to see from Mastantuano. But all the same, this might be the same players that will start for Real Madrid today at 7:30. The players that will play against Real Oviedo. But if there is going to be a change in the starting lineup, possibly I'm seeing Rodrigo starting from the left. So the player that will be benched today will be Vini Jr. I'm seeing Rodrigo starting today on the left. And if the coach will prefer playing Vini Jr. in Mbappe, then it might be Manchatuano that will start from the bench. Then maybe Rodrigo will start the game today. So let's keep fingers across and then wait and then sit behind our TV and watch the game at 7:30 p.m. local time, and then let's see. Like I said, I'm not expecting less than 2 goals or even 3 goals from Real Madrid. I want them to score more because this is a weak team. Real Oviedo shouldn't pose any threat to Real Madrid, and no matter how that they defend, they should put up a strategy that can unlock their defense so that Real Madrid can break the heart. At least they should score more than 3 goals, 3 to 5 goals today. They should score more than 3 to 5 goals today. So this is the game that will be played between Real Madrid and Real Oviedo. And remember, the away team is Real Madrid and the home team is Real Oviedo. Now moving on to Italy. The big game today will be Juventus versus Parma. Everybody might think that Parma is just a small club. No, it's not a small club. The game, it won't be an easy game for Juventus. So in Italy, there is going to be the big game. Then in Germany, Mainz versus Cologne, and then Mönchengladbach versus Hamburg FC. Now moving on to France, these are the games that will be played. Lorient versus Rennes, Le Havre versus Lens, Strasbourg versus Nantes, Toulouse versus Brest, Lille versus AS Monaco. So these are the games that will be played in these 5 leagues. So in England, this is what you have, and then in Spain, this is what we have. Italy, these are the games. Germany, and then France. And in fact, in England, the game between Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest is on. So if you are not yet behind the TV, then please get there on time so that you too can see what is going on. So see you again tomorrow. Goodbye. Please subscribe, like, and share and comment. Thank you so much.